first Bible verse that I want to talk about is from Genesis 1:26, where kind of the Trinity among itself says, let us create man, create people in our image. So what we see there is that all people, independent of their personal characteristics, are created in the image of God. This is a very basic understanding and a basic starting point. If we're all equally created in the image of God, then there's no favoritism. All have equal value. It's not based on personal characteristics. Now I can say to you too that some aspects, it seems, of this Imago Dei, image of God, are not entirely understood. There are people who will think it has to do with intellect or those kinds of things. But then I have dear friends who have very limited intellect. And so if image of God is something like intellect, then they don't fully have the image of God. But it says all people have the image of God. So it's something that every person has the same. And it's a critical thing to remember. It is a basis of human value, right? It's a basis of human value. If I see you as not having the image of God, it can cause me then to result in treating you poorly and treating you badly because you don't have this value that I would see that other people would potentially have. It's also the basis of equality among people. There are differences between people, and the main difference is a verse that I always quote, Luke 12:48, that says, of whom much is given, much is expected. So there are differences among people in terms of what they're given, but their basic value in terms of how much they're loved or other aspects of human value are the same across us all. Now you might kind of be listening to this and saying, well, isn't this obvious? It's fascinating. I've had the opportunity to speak about these kinds of issues in a variety of places around the world. And there were two places that I was at. Once I was in Africa, and another time I was in Asia. And when I did a kind of a discussion of these issues with pastors and other people who were leaders in the Christian community there in these places, when it was done, I kind of said, so debrief with me a little bit. Tell me some things that you might have learned. And in both of these places, one a third world country in Africa, one a first world country in Asia, the response from the leaders was, I had no idea people with disabilities are created in the image of God. Well, obviously, if that's a starting point that you don't understand, it's going to take you in a direction where you may not want to go. It's funny, though, because I like to joke about this, where when I'm speaking to groups, well, I'll say, I look at myself in the mirror and I say, well, look, obviously there's the image of God, right, in my haughtiness. But then I look at a person with a disability and I say, I wonder what the image of God is. The fact of the matter is all human beings all have the image of God equally. And that's a starting point for treating people with value and giving them the type of worth and respect that they are kind of designed by God to receive because they're created in His image.